Welcome back everybody, DestinysJesus here. In this video we're looking at the top 10 pros worldwide just based on this last season. So it doesn't matter if someone won the FNCS Grands last season, it's got zero relevancy on this list. It's only based on achievements during the Season 6 period. I'm looking at all tournaments, all cash cups, all the DreamHack extras, the DreamHack Duo tournament that's placed, all the solo cash cups as well. All of that's going to be factored into who I think was the best pro and who performed the best. Looking at 4 different regions who I think make up the top 10, and we're also going to be looking at 4 of the most improved players worldwide and what they actually did to place and improve. So I'm going to be doing some of them and just figuring out exactly how they were able to improve and place, and letting you guys know what they did to improve so much last season. As always, make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed, and also subscribe if you're new. Okay, so coming in at number 10, we've got Quizzy. Quizzy had an absolutely insane season, and that just shows you guys how many other pros had insane seasons as well. The fact that the FNCS winner of the EU is only in 10th place. We're also going to have some or more of his teammates later on the list as well, so make sure you guys look out for that. So Quizzy's notable achievements this season were the first in Grand Finals, where he actually proved that high ground does win tournaments, despite what the casters always say. They played height really impressively. I ordered a video bodying them and also just breaking down how I was coaching them throughout that tournament. And also he had a really good season in terms of DreamHack extras that he was placing in with Quizzy and Trulex, and then he also went ahead and won the Console Cash Cup. Obviously, the Console Cash Cup isn't the most stacked event, but it still does prove that he's a top tier IGL. He's playing complete different players he's never played with before, and he still managed to get first place in that as well. Now, coming in at number 9 has to be Muzz. I know what you guys are going to be saying oh, it's an OC player, don't reserve top 10 players worldwide, but look at the achievements this guy got this season. If you look here, his worst placement this entire season was 9th. I don't even know how that's possible, and he won 5 solo Cash Cups during the season, which is absolutely ridiculous. 5 out of the 8 solo Cash Cups. It's really never been done before, and it's absolutely insane. Among that, he actually also won the back-to-back FNCS Championship. He's one of the best fraggers in the world, and he's a player I really recommend you guys go check out, watch some reviews from him. He's absolutely insane at the game. So coming in at number 8 has to be Tayson, in my opinion. This guy IGL'd his trio to top 3 in Grand Finals. Really insane achievement, plus he had that absolutely insane run in Heat B where I actually took first place. And aside from that, obviously the top 3 in Grand Finals was nice. If you look at his Cash Cup placements throughout the season, it's absolutely ridiculous. They won the first Cash Cup extra that was hosted, and they also averaged 200 points across all trio Cash Cups. I know most of you guys in this chat who are watching this video are going to be struggling to get over 150 points, and averaging 200 plus winning 2 of them is absolutely insane for Tayson's trio. He also had some really good solo Cash Cup results and also some really nice DreamHack Duo results. He got 2nd with Thomas HD in the EU DreamHack and 15th with Thomas HD in the NH DreamHack to round off a really nice season from him, plus that nice little top 3 in Grands. So coming in at number 7, I have to choose one member of this trio, so I had to kind of leave Epic Well and Rex in the dust, mainly because Arkham had an insane solo Cash Cup win this season that kind of propelled him into the first place for NA West in my books. He obviously as well had an insane run in the Grand Finals. They won it again. I think it's his 4th FNCS win, and aside from that, some really good trio Cash Cup wins as well, and a typical Gamer Cup win as well, which kind of cements him into that 7th spot on our list. Okay, so coming in at number 6, I have to go with Chapix in my opinion. This guy had an absolutely insane season. Obviously the slightly disappointing Grand Finals where they get contested, and still managed to get 8th, which is still really impressive as well. But also the fact that he had such good consistent trio Cash Cup placements, 3 wins in those, also a win in the Cash Cup Extra week 3, and he also had some consistently insane placements in the solo Cash Cups. He had a 5th, a 4th, and another 4th as well, which is really insane stuff, and that's why I put him slightly above his teammates of Hen and Janice as well. So coming in our 5th place spot, we have to travel over to NA East and have a look at Centered's trio. Obviously he plays the insane IGL role in his trio where he's always placing so consistently. Another 2nd place in Grand Finals as well, which kind of cements him as one of the best IGLs in the world. And he's also had some really good placements with Commandment in the DreamHack Open where he got 2nd place. And the only reason I'm putting him slightly over his teammates of Commandment and Edgy, who kind of miss out on this top 10, is just because Centered is putting in that extra effort to place in solo Cash Cups. A lot of pros, especially on NAs, don't really put in that effort to actually place it all the time in solo Cash Cups. They kind of just give up if they have a bad tourney and they let the mental get to them. But as you can see, Centered is always placing pretty consistently in the money in his Cash Cups. A 10th place, a 19th, a 23rd, and a 7th as well. Just kind of shows that he's putting that extra effort into it, and also it's helping pay off in trios since he's being such a good IGL and getting really consistent placements there as well. So in our 4th place spot, I have to go with ReasonA. Just for the amount of effort that he put into the 2nd day at Grand Finals here, that insane solo clutch that was all over Twitter. He also had another really insane game where they managed to win again. Just a lot of solo plays and a lot of bow headshots that he was hitting there. Kind of bumped him up from a really disappointing day 1 of like 17th place into the top 5 of Grand Finals. And aside from that, really consistent placements with a deal with no rally throughout the season. And the big reason I'm putting Reason so high up on this list compared to his teammates and compared to a lot of other pro players is just the fact that he was so consistent in these solo cash cups. He won one of them and also loads of top 5s as well. And he's the head and shoulders of the rest of the other pros in the EU and the other regions as well for consistency in these cash cups. Just a quick little ad, make sure you go check out ReasonA's VODs on the actual solo masterclass. He won the solo cash cut, which we VOD'd with him as well, and he also won a trio cash cut, which we VOD'd as well with him. Breaking to our top 3 here has to be Mr. Savage, in my opinion. He started off the season really strong with that first place in the solo cash cup, and at the time, ReasonA proved that statistically, Mr. Savage was the best solo player in the EU, and he kind of proved that throughout all of these cash cups, loads of consistent top 15s, top 10s as well, and as you can see, he ended up 3rd on the EU cash cup consistency leaderboard done by FCR rankings. And the big reason I'm putting Mr. Savage so high up compared to previous lists, what I've done, where I've kind of missed out Mr. Savage, is just because he's finally had an FNCS performance that's kind of proven and lived up to his GOAT title on EU. A lot of people previously rated him really highly, and I did as well, but I couldn't put him up that high in my leaderboards and rankings, just because he never really popped off in the grand finals, and he's finally been able to do it with Endressa and Refsgard. And a lot of people kind of doubted these guys at the start. As you can see here, their placements weren't really the best. They weren't really placing so consistently, like 35th place and stuff. And that's kind of the honeymoon period that a lot of trios immediately get, right? They form together and they place really well at the start, and then towards the end, there's kind of some chemistry issues and they don't really play too well and they're not playing to the best of their ability. But these guys are the kind of opposite of that. It took about 8 weeks for these guys to really start performing and popping off, and then that's exactly when the grand finals were, and they kind of peaked at that point and played extremely well. And I'm definitely looking forward to watching these guys in the future as well. So who do I think is the second best pro player in the world at the moment? Without a doubt in my mind, Mero is the best player on NA East, the best controller player, and the best trio fighter in the world, without a shadow in my mind. As you can see here, I'll just play this little clip and you guys can see exactly what I mean in terms of Mero's insane performances recently.
A stat that I want you to really listen to here is Mero has now finished with the most individual eliminations in 3 straight FNCS finals.
Wow. Wow.
Like, what? Hello?
If you guys didn't hear that properly, Mero has literally had the highest kills compared to every single other region, and especially competing on NAs, which are pretty challenging region to actually get consistent kills on because the players are a little bit higher quality compared to other regions like Middle East and OC, and he's still managing to do that and get the highest elims in 3 straight FNCS Grand Finals. Obviously had the win here with Day in reverse to UK, and despite the fact that he's playing with Day, he's still able to get those amount of elims when Day is an absolute machine as well. Mero's other placements this season include a 12th with Rise in the actual duo DreamHack. He also managed to get grand finals with Quinton. No idea he managed to do that on EU. And he also managed to place 2nd place in a high ping cash cup on NA West as well. So before we get into our number 1 spot, I want to take a quick look over some of the most improved pro players of this past season. So in this case of Juraki, he obviously started this season with like 8 kernings, and he was on the academy team of Wave, and he's decided to actually go ahead and grind extremely hard, put loads of effort in, and actually go ahead and win the FNCS Grand Finals. It's just kind of crazy to think about, and increase his earnings from 8k to like 120k as well, just in one season. So here we're going to look through what Juraki sent to me and what he actually kind of does to make sure he's playing to the best of his ability. And the big thing here you can actually see is he's still in school. And a lot of you guys think you can't go pro while you're in school, since a lot of players are online school or they're not at school anymore. But Juraki still goes to school every single day on the school days, and he's allowed to play 6-7 hours after each one of those school days. So the first thing that Juraki is doing is making a schedule. That's probably the biggest thing that I always recommend to players. I recommend that my first How to Go Pro video at the start of this year that you guys should have watched. And he's basically gone ahead and included everything that he's doing that day. When he wakes up, when he's playing Kovacs, when he's doing his warm-up, when he's doing some healthy exercises, when he's eating. And he's going ahead and making a schedule for every single small part of his day to make sure that he's on top. Now the next thing that Juraki is recommending is to take a cold shower. Obviously, there's loads of health benefits of taking cold showers that you guys should know about, but the most important thing that he recommends it for is to get out of your comfort zone in any aspect of your life. So he says taking a cold shower is obviously quite uncomfortable, but allows him to keep on playing Kovacs for like an hour straight, and instead of those scenarios where it's kind of tough, right? If you just play and hop on and just do creative and just do 1v1s, you're obviously not going to improve as fast as some of these top tier pros who are putting so much extra effort into harder things like play Kovacs for a full hour. Another thing that Joey recommends is to get into a friend group with better players. He's in a load of different friends groups. He's also in my friend group where we've got loads of different top tier pros that I can leave a screenshot of. And also the biggest thing with these friend groups is that you're learning off better players. You can also warm up versus better players, fight better players, and you can also do apes and zone wars with these better players as well. Basically, the big thing that he's saying is that you can learn off their habits and you can copy play styles as well, and then in return, that will make you a better player. And the last thing that Jericho recommends is to grind. He says there's no easy way. If you think there's an easy way, then I don't think competition is for you. Everything comes with a price. Every pro, every athlete, anyone who's successful had to make sacrifices. Whether it is to not go to that holiday that one time or spend those extra hours playing instead of studying, whatever it is, it's going to get tough. So you have to trust yourself, you have to want it that bad that you push through every obstacle. Remember, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you're willing to stand back up. It's all in your hands, you have to put the time to get the results. No easy way there. So those are kind of the key things that Jericho did to actually improve so much that this past season, and obviously you guys can definitely copy those, especially the fact that he's still going to school and has improved and made 100k just this season alone is kind of crazy to think about as well. In first place, this might kind of be a surprise pick for you guys, but I have to go with Fortnite. This guy got third place in the grand finals, won 2 trio cash cups with Tayson and Nate, also got the first place in the cash cup extra and a nice second place in a solo cash cup at the start of the season. And the big reason why I'm putting Fortnite so high up on here is because of his insane solo performance in the duo DreamHack. He obviously is playing off Quizzy, who's a really good player as well, but how individually well he played on that day and that allowed him to take first place was absolutely insane. Also, a big part of the reason I'm putting Fortnite up here so high is because he's kind of pushing forward as meta that a lot of people are starting to implement with the pre-edits. He's one of the first players that started doing this at the start of the season, and he does it so well in shows, allowed his show to play extremely well, and also allowed him to win the duo DreamHack finals as well. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed my list. Make sure to go and leave a comment on who you think I missed out, any players that I put too high up, put too low down that you guys think I should have put in here, or any of the players that you think I kind of just completely forgot about. And as always, I hope you guys like the video and also subscribe if you're new.